Well, first of all, just your thoughts as you guys get ready to start this Thursday. Where do you feel the team is at? How you feel this group is kind of meshed together? And certainly a lot of work to be done now with the regular season starting Thursday.
Yeah, it's always funny in the early season because there's so many things still to work on, and the reality is that the NCAA doesn't give us enough time to prepare, but at the same time, it's the same for all teams, right? So we're all in the same boat. So, you know, I like the energy that this group has. They have been extremely coachable, and it's just been a really, really fun preseason to be a coach because they've been so receptive and so sponge-like in trying to absorb as much information as they can. So it's been great. We haven't gotten as far as we wanted as far as our curriculum, and so we're going into the first game with a lot of things that we just haven't had a chance to work on yet. But again, probably be the same thing for the Austin Peay team that we're facing as well. And I always tell the team it's a process, right? It's a marathon, not a sprint. And so we haven't put everything into our system yet. I don't expect that we'll be there until probably early mid-September, where we feel like we're really hitting everything on all cylinders. But we're, I think the enthusiasm and excitement that we have will carry us through in the early part of the season.
What do you like about the team that you've seen so far?
Well, like I mentioned before, I think the coachability. The kids have been extremely receptive to feedback, and not just receptive to feedback, but then trying to take the information they learn and apply it to the training and game situations. And then the energy of the group. I think you asked the question, what are the younger players brought? They have a lot of personality and they have brought a lot of energy, and there's just been a really, really good vibe around the team this preseason. I think it's felt by everyone in every department. Even our media relations person, Lillian, talked about the energy and vibe that she felt like we had during our photo shoot, last month. So it's just been a great energy from our players.
With those 7 ties, kind of like the same with the players, you were so close last year as a coach. What do you feel it's going to take to maybe get over that a little bit?
Yeah, really, really dubious record that we set last year, right? Most ties in the season for us, but also for the conference. And so, yeah, really, really close. And we talked about it already this season. I think we talked about early in the season that we were really, really close, but then at the end of the season we were still really, really close. And we've talked about as a team about what that means and what we need to do to kind of get over that hump and take it from good to great and not be close, but be there, be where we need to be. And so part of that's playing in the moment and being in the moment. Part of that's just going to be our progression of the season. I think it's all about scoring goals, right? I mean, we were really good defensively and really stingy defensively, and that's always where we start, and we just haven't had a ton of time in the attacking phases of the game yet. It's just not enough training time to work on that stuff. But it really is about figuring out ways to create more chances, more opportunities to score. And I think this team's capable of doing that, and I think you'll see us score more goals this season.
Any specific players you think are capable of maybe taking
well,
a look for you?
Well, yeah, I think for us, we unfortunately in the last, probably since Mallory Outerbridge back she graduated in 2011. We haven't had a goal scorer that scored 10 plus goals, and so we still probably don't. And so to some degree, it's going to be scoring by committee. I think Kayla Meyer has been a very consistent goal scorer for us. I think she's going to have a breakout season, and I think the skill set of some of the players that we've added are going to give her a little bit more freedom. And I think you're going to see some other players really step forward. I think we've added a lot of players that are good on the ball. We've added quite a bit of speed to our front line, so I think that's going to really, really help.
Coach, when you look back at the girls' top 99 senior class last year, you lose Amber, you lose Katie Irwin, big pieces that have been a part of this program for 5-6 years or so. In your mind, has it been an easy transition, going for those players who have been such a huge staple?
Yeah.
And getting these new.
Yeah, I think yes and no. It's always hard to lose quality players who have impacted your program for many, many years, right? But like I said, I think the younger players in particular brought a lot of energy and have been really receptive to coaching. And so, I think we're probably in a pretty good place. You always, right? It's a 4-year, we're in a 4-year program, and so it's a 4 or 5-year cycle. In Amber's case, 6-year cycle. But that's part of the process is having players fall off your roster and bringing new players in. It's just part of the college environment. And so, it's something that our team's used to, and it's what we do, right? And so you hope that you're not rebuilding, but reloading. And I think we've brought in some players to help us do that.
You mentioned last year that you were close at the beginning of the year, but you were still close at the end of the year. Does that kind of put a little added emphasis on trying to get off to a better start this year and going from close to maybe finishing a little more this year? It's particularly, the non-conference before you get into conference to be a little farther along than maybe you felt like you were as a team.
Yes and no. I think getting off to a good start builds confidence. And I think the players, I think that they feed off of those kinds of results and having confidence, but at the end of the day, it's still a process, right? And, we don't have to be ready to win a championship on Thursday. We have to be ready to win a championship at the end of October.
And I know the regular season hasn't even kicked off yet, but the program sort of on a streak of getting the conference tournament and dropping early. How do you sort of build up throughout the regular season to be able to get over that hump?
Yeah, well, we've been getting terrible matchups. I mean, I'm being a little bit sarcastic. I mean, certainly that was not our intention to have to play the home squad last year in the first round of the tournament. But yeah, I mean, it's a hump that we have to get over. We haven't been good in the first round of the tournament. Part of that is right, not being close, of being where we're supposed to be when we at that point in the season. Part of it's soccer's just such a demanding game, and can we manage loads a little bit better so we're in a better position to be fresher at the end of the season than being fatigued at the end of the season?
The schedule last year was Xavier, Purdue, this year, Arkansas. Look at this non-conference schedule. How do you go about that? Knowing that you all, kind of schedule these Power 5 teams at least once every single year. What are you looking for in this non-conference?
Yeah, I mean, Arkansas is a tough ask. I think that they'll be top 10 in the country when we get out there to play them. They draw one of the biggest crowds in the NCAA, and they are really, really good at home. And so it's a tough ask, but I think you just want to build momentum to that part of the season and learn and grow through that opportunity to play them. I think another tough game is Dayton on the road. I think that's a really challenging game, but I think we take it one game at a time. Again, trying to teach the kids to kind of live in the moment and play in the moment. And so what we're looking forward to is our first game against Austin Peay, and that's really the only one that matters to us right now. And we're not even thinking about Liberty or MTSU or Arkansas. We're thinking about Austin Peay on Thursday.
Starting conference play, I think you guys start 3 games on the road, back in conference play. How does that kind of, how do you approach that?
Well, if it were my schedule and I had made the schedule, I would not have done that to us. Our conference schedule doesn't line up great this year. I think when you look at it and where we have to go and when we have to go there, it's just part of it. And our team will be ready. I mean, our team will be mentally and physically prepared, and we'll be ready for that stretch of the season. But no, I mean, am I excited about it? I'm excited to play those teams. I'm excited that our first 3 games are on the road. No, it's crappy. I'd rather be able to have 1 or 2 or 3 of those games at home, for sure. Obviously it's supposed to be a mirror reflection. So, hopefully the following year we start with 3 home games. But it is what it is, right? And you got to play teams somewhere. Some of those games are at home and some of them are away, and we'll put our best foot forward.
How do you like dealing with the new complex there for you?
Man, it's been awesome. It's been awesome. It's been awesome for our team. It's been awesome for our recruiting. And it's brought a lot of joy to our players to have a place to hang out, to do film, to learn and grow about the game, to unwind and have time with each other. I mean, It's funny because when we first started really using the facility, we'd show up for practice. I'd be like, "Where's the team?" And my assistant would be like, "Coach, they're in the locker room." "Oh yeah, they're in the locker room." And so it's been fantastic, and to hear them, to hear the excitement, hear them enjoying the facility and listening to music and hanging out in the locker room, it just takes our program to a whole nother level.